Beruchim Abayim, Moshe Leniado, speaking under the auspices of Kollel, Ahavat Israel, and Sha'rei Tziyon. This week, the Parshah is Vitzä. Yaakov, our father, has to leave his father's home under the threat from his brother Esav, who wants to kill him. And also, it's time for him to get married. And his bride is waiting for him in his mother's brother's home, Lavan. And he has to go there. But prior to going to Lavan's house, immediately after leaving his father's home, what does he do? He travels to the yeshiva of Shem ve'Ever and becomes a diligent student there for 14 years, studying Torah. Now the question arises, why does he have to go to yeshiva? And in truth, first answer is that a Jew is always studying. Our greatest calling is to be a Talmid Chacham. What is Talmid Chacham? A student of wisdom. Our rabbis, our leaders are called Talmidei Chachamim because they're always students of knowledge, always trying to gain more and more knowledge. Yaakov was the perfect example. He realized that he's going to Lavan's house and he had to have a moral compass set right. So he felt that the influence of the yeshiva for 14 years would be able to give him the strength to be in that home, which may be a type of spiritual cesspool. But he would come out clean. He would come out with his priorities right. And that would come from his years, his long years in yeshiva. When we send our boys, our young men, and our young women to yeshivot, what are we doing? We're preparing them to a great extent for the outside world. Our world today is very much like the home of Lavan, filled with horrible, disgusting morality, filled with ideas which are so foreign to us. How are our children going to stand up against all those who speak for a different way of life? And the only way is if we give them a fortitude, a strength, and that will come from the yeshiva. They will give them a direction which is based on the values and principles of Torah. That is why we invest so much in our children, that they could go to yeshiva. Also, there's another reason. There was a man named Paul Reichman. Paul Reichman was at one time one of the wealthiest Jews in the world. He was based out of Toronto, Canada. He once gave an interview, which he rarely did, to the Toronto Times. And one of the questions asked was, Mr. Reichman, what do you say? How did you become so rich? And Reichman answered, it's through my study of Talmud. Let's all run to read the Talmud. May we also become rich like Mr. Reichman. What did Mr. Reichman mean when he said he reads the Talmud? It's not reading, it's learning. When one is constantly studying the words of the Gemara, his mind becomes sharp. He has an understanding of business, of humankind. Not in a manner of thievery, but in a manner of honesty and proper ethics, which will take him to be not only a morally proper man, but many times it will take him to the riches of this world. Such was the quote from Paul Reichman. The Gemara made me rich. Translated as, the study of our Talmud makes our brains work, and stay sharp, and be able to do what? Be able to live and be successful in this world. My friends, let us as Jews realize that it's our destination to be Talmidei Chachamim. Let us not run away from Torah study, but let us embrace it. And with it, we'll be able to walk upright in this world. And certainly, we will be blessed in the world to come. Shabbat Shalom.